What's up, y'all? This is Mike Manzer with another Manzer Faust Productions video. And yeah, this is my 1 year anniversary of starting this. Well, I've had this YouTube channel for a while. Usually it was like weird concert footage I would do back in the day and like a lot of random videos, like those 1 minute kind of like proto, what they call shorts now. But really my first kind of video doing this, physical media commentary kind of stuff, vinyl community, Blu-ray community, whatever you want to call it, was January 25th with my cassette tag. And I'm kind of disappointed there's no cassette tag 2024 that I've been able to find. If I do find it, that'll come at the end. Currently working on my punk and vinyl tag, genre-less vinyl tag videos. The metal tag, shout out to Heavy Metallurgy, Marty and Alan putting that out, getting those questions together. Really cool list. I love doing these kind of like vinyl tags because it really forces you to kind of go through your collection, and it's almost like a scavenger hunt with some of these questions where you're just like, wow, pulling this out, really cool. If you haven't checked out Heavy Metallurgy, it's like one of my favorite YouTube channels. It really got me through that like weird point I was going through in 2022. Just really cool deep dives on everything you could possibly imagine having to do with metal. They do really cool year in review lists where they'll go through like all these different releases in a particular year. They have a lot of cool like themed streams on like literature and cover art and all these kind of stuff, and they get a lot of great other YouTube commentators and metal legends and everybody like that involved in the videos. It's really cool, and they definitely deserve all your support. And also go check out Alan's other channel, Let's Talk Metal. And they ended up, at least the Heavy Metallurgy page followed me from that video, and that's very cool. And I'm excited to continue with this channel. I have been taking a little bit of a break. Gonna kind of take this video to kind of go over what's kind of been going on the past year for me. I do these videos, but I never really go into like much personal stuff. I'm not gonna go too deep because whatever. Not really the place to go into like the dark emotional stuff by any stretch. But I thought it'd be cool to come on here and talk about how, behind the scenes, I've been working through a lot of stuff because I did go away for a while. There was like the October, November, December, I was barely making content because I was dealing with a lot of different stuff. I've been going through a lot of changes in my lifestyle. Emotions run high this time of year. I definitely have like a seasonal kind of depression streak to myself, at least like the last 20 years. I'm not a big winter fan. I love autumn. I love fall, the leaves changing and everything like that. But it seems like every year fall gets even shorter and shorter, and due to some personal, financial and emotional and kind of family shit going on at the time, that late in the year, again, gonna be as vague as possible with these kind of situations. It did prevent me from actually sitting down and making videos, and a few of the videos did not come out how I would have wanted. The MF Doom tribute I thought was very rushed. I felt like I could do a lot better with that. I have done better with that. I used to have a podcast back in the day where I did an entire episode with my co-host at the time talking about MF Doom and going into my history and the kind of different musical styles he would dive into, and his use of samples and everything like that. It's like a better dive than the video that I ended up uploading kind of in a rush. Also, the Havoc Records video I am not big on because I kind of crammed for that the night before. There was a lot of records in that labels collection that I have that I hadn't dug out in probably almost 20 years at this point. And so there was a lot of catch up I had to do, and like finding information on some of these bands is difficult. Fucking uh, Kill from the Heart doesn't exist anymore. That was a classic site where you could go by like different labels and different parts of the different parts of the world. Regional breakdowns of different bands. They had really great like zine articles scanned in. They had a lot of great stuff that I don't even know if a lot of it's even available anymore. Because even if you try to Wayback Machine this site, there's a lot of holes in it, and that's really sad. Because this was my Bible back in the day. So it'd be really cool if like somebody involved in it would put out like an actual like book or some kind of archive download of it or something. I don't know how much of that is available. I think it was more of like a college project, class project kind of thing, because it was an NYU hosted site from what I remember. But because of that, Discogs can only take you so far. There's pretty much no information on a lot of these underground bands on Wikipedia. Metal Archives is not really that much of a help either, because a lot of these aren't considered metal bands, and they're pretty stickler about that stuff on that site, among other stupid things. But so that, and that I crammed for it the night before, really just kind of fucked that video over, and I don't really think I did it justice. And that's a shame, because that's such an important label to me. So, in future videos, I take a little bit more time with these videos. I don't try to have everything out on that Monday like I was for a while. Wasn't so much burnout. I just, you learn as you go on. Your early material's not going to be as great as stuff coming later. I have a lot of music I've been working on this past year. If you've subscribed to this channel and you go through, the kind of main page, either on your desktop or on your phone, whatever, you'll see that I recently have like my music up, different sections. Midnight's Requiem, Existence is Fucked, X Poison X, and I believe Safe Words on there as well. This is all stuff that ends up on YouTube, because I use DistroKid, and it goes to all the different streaming platforms, which I really like, because a lot of people might not have like Spotify or Apple Music, iTunes, whatever. But it's good to have it on YouTube, because a lot of people use YouTube. It's pretty much the majority of people in my circles use YouTube, so it's easy for them to just pull up kind of these musical projects that I have, which are all like, solo bands I have. I jump on here whenever I have an idea and just create. It's one of these good outlets for it. And I've been jamming out a lot of these. Like some of these albums, because I'm solo, I don't have a band, I don't have to like debate over different sounds and everything like that. I can write a song within a couple of hours, from the drums, everything, just completed in a couple of hours. I've done entire albums in a week. It's a cool vibe for me, because it's kind of the way that I work, and it works around my kind of lifestyle, my schedule, especially this past year, where there's been a lot of changes. I've like totally changed my diet. I barely eat meat anymore. I have like one day a week where I'll do what I call my sin day, where I'll have like a sandwich from a deli with like some deli meat and stuff like that, or I'll get pizza or something like that. But most of the time, I'm constantly walking. If you follow me on Instagram, you will see very regularly that I'm doing some crazy walking marathons on my own throughout like the week. A lot of times there's been weeks where I'll do like 17, 18, 22 miles per day, multiple times during the week. I just do these great because I love like walking. You know, you put my earbuds in and I could go forever. It's really great. And around here, you know, this kind of New Haven area, give or take, there's a lot to kind of back roads and different cool like abandoned warehouses and been really getting into photography. There's a lot of that on the Instagram as well. Um, a lot of selfies, just because you know that's where you start off, just taking stupid pictures of myself and like you know using them for artwork, using them for album covers. I always find that a lot of fun. But in doing that, you know, you start picking up on like different architecture, and just trying a lot of stuff, and I'm having a lot of fun with that. Getting back into photography because you know I kind of just blew it off for a long time. It's a lot of fun. Having this channel is also making me go out and buy records and look into more stuff, listen to more stuff, kind of take those chances, experiment more with the movies as well with these stop, watch, and listen series. My unboxings do very well every month, and I love doing that because then when you have the stop, watch, and listen later on in the month, I get to talk about the movies that I wasn't familiar with in the unboxing, and I get to finally reveal how I feel about these movies, and it's really a lot of fun because I've been finding a lot of great stuff the past year, especially with the subscription, all the great partner labels. It's been a lot of fun. You know, just getting into shape has been very important to me. Keeping up with like a clean lifestyle, trying to like keep the apartment clean, keep everything organized. Been doing a lot the past couple of weeks, organizing all of my 45s, not all the punk 45s, but I have a lot of the old 45s, like jukebox 45s, those kind of things from like 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, you know, all the way through it. A lot of them were my parents, a lot of them were my uncles after he died. He left me a lot of those kind of, a lot of classic rock, a lot of weird jazz kind of stuff. A lot of crappy new wave stuff I don't really care about, but I hold on to everything. You know, I never get rid of any of my parents' collection. I got all my parents' records. You know, they move around a lot, so I'm like, you're not gonna take all these records with you. So I end up taking them, and man, just digging through those. Had to catalog everything on Discogs last year, so I ended up digging deep into a lot of that stuff, which is really a lot of fun because like there was stuff I never even heard of that I was discovering in the collection, and that's always a real treat. So working on these 45s, organizing them. There's a lot of stuff I've never even heard of. There's a couple of like book on record kind of things which I can get samples from. You know, there's a lot of songs that I might want to use like in my DJing sets. I do occasionally DJ out of here. I've been trying to get back into making mixtapes for people, that kind of stuff. Maybe down the line, I'll talk more about that. If any of you want to hit me up at those points, I'll let you know, and maybe I'll make a mixtape for a bunch of you guys. I love doing that kind of stuff, like actually getting a tape, popping it in, planning out the set list, and it's a whole ritual for me. I just love it. It's just really cool for me to like kind of put my opinions out there, but at the same time, you know, down in the comments, I'm really big on people giving their opinions and kind of, you know, what did you like about these movies? What did you dislike about these movies? What are some movies I didn't mention in this category that you think fit? Music, same thing. When I do my label videos, it would be cool to get like comments and stuff when I do more down the line, because just like there's a lot of these labels I talk about have just a big plethora of different releases, and a lot of them kind of fall through the cracks, and it's cool to kind of get feedback from people like, oh, you missed this record, this is really cool to check out. So that's like really what I'm here for. And if it inspires any of you to start your own channel, kind of talk about what makes you passionate about physical media, or whatever art, culture type of thing you want to talk about. That's really what it's all about. Your own experiences coming through, because there's a lot that I have difficulty talking about on here. There's certain genres I don't deep dive as much as I would like to, because I just don't have the direct connection in those communities, life experiences, everything like that. So I really feel like a lot of that kind of stuff would benefit from a voice of somebody part of those communities, part of that culture. I find that really important, and that's kind of my mission. And I just love the feedback. There's been a lot of videos that I've done that have done pretty well as of late. Got a lot of views on the recent unboxing, though. Like I said, those always do very well. My top 23 favorite Vinegar Syndrome releases of 2023 is doing incredible. It's at 300 views, man, and that's so fucking cool. I'm really appreciative of that. And not a lot of people checking out the boxed in on the Vinegar Syndrome Lost Pictures show. So if you have not checked that out yet, definitely go watch that video, because I did a lot for that video, and that was like one of my favorite videos that I've done. Another video that I did that a lot of people have not paid attention to is When Manzer Met Vinyl, where I kind of go through my history of record collecting and kind of go back to that first couple of years of really going to like record stores with my dad in Northampton and Amherst, and kind of my first experiences with punk rock, maximum rock and roll, all these kind of different subjects I thought was like very cool to go into, kind of give you all a context on how I got to where I am now, in this bomb shelter of physical media and art. So that was very cool. I'm trying to think if there's any other videos that kind of fell through the cracks. I just really love coming on here. I'd love to come more on here and talk about like shows that I go to, and kind of talk about. It just has to be a very important show. I did the one on Slapshot and Sheer Terror up in Wallingford, and then I also did one on Barely Breathing up in Bethpage, New York, and those were a ton of fun. And the Bethpage one especially, because that was such a cool fest. A lot of great people I met through there, and have kept in touch with a lot of them. Shitgazer actually has a channel on YouTube, which is great. They go to a lot of shows and just get this like great VHS style footage of a lot of the bands. And their work on the Barely Breathing Fest came out amazing. Really love the Hallucination Realized video they put together, and really dug what they did with Chop, 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 Chop. I can't remember how many chops that is. Chop 7 times. Really great local grindcore musician, solo grindcore. Really love his stuff. And they got really good footage of him playing at the fest, and just and like I said, all the different people I met. A lot of guys I haven't seen in a while. Shout out Josh Mercy. Hang out with him, going through his distro. Still got to make it out to Black Lodge Collectibles out in Providence, I believe Providence or Cranston, somewhere in that Rhode Island area. I'd never go out there anymore, so be a good excuse for me to venture out there again. It's been a minute. Seeing everybody at that show was just so fucking cool, and like it's been so long since there'd been a huge like grindcore kind of festival situation. We used to have them every once in a while out here. Like Whitney House was definitely doing crazy shit like that a lot back in the day. But that kind of dried up, you know, without like house shows a lot. There's not really the community of house shows anymore. It's kind of a rarity. But yeah, I'd love to come on here and do like some more of those kind of. If I go to like a big fest or there's like a huge show with a bunch of really good bands, there's a few possibilities coming up. The Piss show in mid-February. Really excited about that. Never miss the Pissed, and every band they got opening, Chemtrails, everything like that, would be really cool. I have been working on my top live shows, my favorite live shows of 2023. So that'll probably drop way later, but that's going to be a hell of a lot of information for y'all and different scenes and bands and stuff. Really excited to dive into a lot of that because I didn't really do anything on like the closing of Wham Leg. I think I did like a Connecticut punk rock nostalgia video, which I am going to do a follow up to that at some point. That could be a whole series of videos because I have a lot of great old tapes from Connecticut bands. I could really focus on different kinds of scenes throughout Connecticut because we all kind of have our own sounds. All the different towns. New London had its own thing kind of going on. Meriden had its own thing. Wallingford, Waterbury, Hartford. They're known for these kind of central bands and sort of a sound that is very unique for each one of these different areas. And, you know, we do carry over a lot, like a lot of Norwich and Mystic people would kind of venture into New London. Back in the day when people used to travel a lot more and New London was a lot more happening with the LNG, and the 33 was a lot bigger at the time as well. A lot of people would come down and you get a lot of meshing together, different scenes, a lot of national bands because it was a pretty big draw of a bar back in the day. And that was, you know, that was really cool. You get a lot of different kind of bands, different sounds and everything like that, and that was kind of inspiring back then. Not really anything we have like that now. Maybe Cherry Street comes pretty close now that I think of it. Shout out to Joaquin who keeps killing it. But we have a lot of venues that are going under lately. Out in Meriden, we've had a couple that we've lost. It's really depressing because it's hard to, you know, kind of keep these scenes alive just in the bars and these kind of, you know, having to share the stage with these national bands is fun, but, you know, it's the opportunities tend to slim. But it is very important that there is a local scene. You go out and support them. You give them money. You know, you buy merch. You get up there and watch all the bands. You know, that's at least what I do, and I've made a lot of friends in that way. You know, a lot of lifelong friends is just from me being up front at all their shows and just showing my appreciation for all types of music, for all bands. You know, you might be an up-and-coming band. I might take your record home. Like, I'm not really into this, but just the live setting, feeding off the energy of the crowd, everybody having a good time. That's really what it's all about. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to do too long on this video. I just wanted to thank y'all for following the great conversations. I want that to continue. If you got any suggestions, complaints, stuff you really enjoy, congrats, whatever you want to do, put it down there in the comments. Like and subscribe if you have not yet. If you want to find me on social media, it is the Hordes of Manzerfaust on Instagram. And that'll about do it. So yeah, this is Mike Manzer with another Manzerfaust Productions video. And stay supporting great physical media. Stay true. Stay positive. And above all, stay fucking metal.